We're gonna get back in the video. Today's video, man, we're gonna be looking at the. This is that goofy shit I be talking about, bro. This is that freaky goofy ass shit I be talking about. I don't know why people do this shit. Like, this is that. Like, what the fuck is y'all doing? Like, most chaotic and for why you even do cave exploration, bro? Is your life that fucked up to the point that like going into a small hole will give you pleasure? Like that's on some gay goofy shit. What
Today
the fuck is
we
y'all
will
doing?
be looking at 3 horrifying caving stories that
Oh,
went
that shit pissed
horribly
me off
wrong.
looking at the fucking title.
The first one in particular involves a sequence of
hell no.
events that rarely happen. The following 2 are even more painful to watch.
Get
As
high,
always,
get
viewer
high
discretion
with me.
advised. On Saturday, August 9th, 1980,
I'm a
Bruce
motherfucking
Unger,
boss. It's on
Scott
cost to talk to
Trosson,
me.
Louise Hose, and Tom Strong embarked on an ambitious adventure into the Lost Creek system, a network of caves carved through the rocky landscapes of the Lost Creek scenic area, just outside of Denver, Colorado. The group had chosen the lowermost cave as their target, a section known for its moderate difficulty, but with an added allure. No one had ever completed a full through trip from the lower entrance to the upper exit. The challenge excited them all, especially Bruce Unger, the most experienced caver among them.
Why? Why is that like why?
The challenge excited them all.
Why is that exciting to you guys? I don't understand this shit. Like, what the fuck is about this that's exciting? Oh, this is that white people shit I've been talking about, bro.
The
What
most
the fuck?
experienced caver among them.
Oh,
who
hell
had
no.
previously explored caves with high water flow. Despite the risk, the group was confident. They had meticulously prepared for their descent, donning wetsuits to protect against the frigid water that flowed through the cave system. Unger and Trosson, the most experienced of the group, even strapped on seat harnesses over their wetsuits, while the others carried their gear in waterproof packs. They equipped themselves with both carbide lamps and backup electric lights, ensuring they wouldn't be left in the dark if any equipment failed.
In this room, like, goddamn. Fucking AC broken and shit.
Safety was paramount.
And that motherfucker, oh my god, if I piss me off. But the guy that kind of owns the house type shit, like, he ain't even come yet. Like, we've been calling bro to come and fix the fucking AC. It's all this shit in here. Like, what the fuck?
But so was their sense of adventure. By 11:30 a.m., they reached the cave entrance, eager to begin their exploration. Unger took the lead as the group descended
This
into
that
the
goofy
depths
shit.
of the cave.
But then I'm saying, bro, this is that goofy following shit, y'all. Sometimes y'all gotta make your own lane and stay in that shit. Cause this is that goofy shit that's gonna get you fucked up, bro. Cause there's no way that you finna go into a hole that fucking small, gang. If there's like an earthquake or something, you cook, like you're dead. Like why even take that risk? What the fuck? You gonna die, bro? Are you gonna get horny or some shit? Like, if y'all look at a hole, then y'all just gonna like, what the fuck is about it that's like so like pleasuring? What the fuck?
The sound of
You
rushing
gonna
water
die.
growing louder
Scary
as
shit.
they moved deeper.
See, you might find like an Enderman or some shit.
The passage was narrow
Like a
at
hair burn.
points,
Fuck.
and soon the team found themselves navigating through a series of tight boulders, testing both their patience and skill. But this was what they had come for, the thrill of pushing beyond the familiar into the unknown. About 150 feet into the cave, they encountered their first real challenge, a powerful water chute that funneled water down a 2-foot wide, 15-foot long slope at a 30-degree angle. The chute led to a larger room on the other side, but getting there required navigating through the rushing water. Unger, always the brave one, went first. He began to climb the chute, using friction holds on the slippery rock to hoist himself up against the strong current. The others waited in a shallow pool below, listening for any word from him. As he neared the top, Unger yelled down that the chute was slick and advised them to stop climbing until he could find a secure foothold. But suddenly, something went wrong. Unger lost his grip, and in an instant, he was swept down the chute. His body hit the water hard, but he managed to wedge himself, his head and chest above water. However, his left foot had become lodged in the crack. His bulky boot jammed tightly in the rock.
Oh my god,
and
bro.
no amount of pulling could free him. He shouted for help.
This is that goofy shit I be talking about, but what the fuck? Why? What the fuck? Why?
Panic creeping into his voice. Louise Hose quickly scrambled up the chute to reach him.
Goofy bitch part 2 gonna die too.
Below. Hose tried to pull on Unger's leg, but his foot was stuck fast.
You could break that
his
shit.
His boot, too large and rigid, was wedged between
shit.
the rock surfaces, and the more they tried to free him, the more desperate the situation became. Unger, already exhausted from battling the powerful water, began to panic. He could feel the pressure building as the current pushed against him, threatening to drag him further under the water.
Smoking on,
Trosson and Strong arrived shortly after, but as
is the shit I was just talking about, bro. This is that fucking following bullshit I've been talking about. You follow this one, this. So Goofy bitch is already dead. Cause his goofy bitch ass want to go climb some hoes because he gets fucking excited over that shit. Fucking Diddy ass motherfucker. And his people, they finna come and help, bro. And when you go help, bro, y'all all finna die.
As they tried to assist Hose, the unrelenting water began to work against them. Hose, in an attempt to reposition herself to hold Unger's head above water, suddenly lost her grip and was swept back down the chute. She collided with Trawson and Strong, creating a chaotic scene in the pool below. Despite the confusion, Strong managed to keep his head above water, and Trawson quickly grabbed Unger again, holding on tightly to prevent him from slipping further. But the situation was growing more dire by the second. Unger, already choking on water, began to thrash in the rushing current. He pleaded, his voice hoarse and filled with fear. Trawson gripped his hand, but the force of the water was too much. Suddenly, Trawson lost his hold, and Unger's head slipped beneath the surface. The current yanked at him violently. They saw his head smashing onto the walls, and before anyone could react, both Trawson and Hose were swept down the...
This is why, like, getting bitches is such an important thing in your life. If you don't get no girls or don't get no hoes or nothing, bro, this is this goofy fuck shit y'all gonna be doing, bro. Like, you ain't got nothing going in your life, so you gonna do some goofy shit like this, and y'all all gonna die.
The shoot once again.
This bitch, it reminds you of the Screech, bro. This probably being the Screech is the goofiest shit, cause like, what the fuck?
For a brief
y'all
moment,
gonna die.
The group was plunged into darkness. The carbide lamps had gone out, and only Jose's backup electric light flickered in the cold water. Unger was nowhere to be seen. Panic set in as Trawson, determined to save his friend, scrambled back up the chute, his heart racing. He managed to grab hold of Unger's helmet, pulling with all his strength, but the helmet slipped off in his hands. Desperate, Trawson tried again, but lost his footing and was swept back down the chute for a third time. Bro? Hose and Strong,
bro, you're really asking for it because it's nature. You can't play with
took
nature,
off
bro.
Their cave packs and ropes, hoping to lighten their load and climb back up faster. Desperation fueled their attempts, but the relentless water pushed them back each time they neared where Unger had gone under. By now, Unger had been underwater for several minutes, and the chances of survival were fading fast. Strong and Hose knew they had to try one last time, but the physical and emotional toll was weighing on them. Exhausted, they clung to the rock, staring at the chute where Unger had disappeared. When they reached the top and found no sign of him, the truth became clear. Unger was gone. They stood there, staring into the swirling water, knowing what had happened.
Yeah, you asked for it.
At 2:45 p.m., they made the difficult decision to exit the cave, leaving behind the body of their friend. There was nothing more they could do. The rushing water had claimed him, and the realization of the loss settled heavily on their hearts. It was a devastating end to what had begun as an exciting exploration, and the group, filled with grief and disbelief, exited the cave in silence. 2 weeks later, on August 23rd, with the water flow reduced to a fraction of its previous strength, a body recovery team returned to the cave. They found Bruce Unger's body wedged beneath a boulder, deep within the chute. It took considerable effort to free him, and only then could they bring him back to the surface. An autopsy later revealed extensive head injuries, including fractures to the skull and neck, likely caused by the violent water flow, smashing his head against the cave walls. Although there was some speculation about drowning, the more likely cause of death was blunt force trauma. A key factor contributing to the tragedy may have been the unsuitable footwear Unger wore. His bulky boots with poor traction likely contributed to his initial slip, and once his foot was caught, there was little chance for escape. Further analysis suggested that a more organized and strategic response may have increased the chance of survival. For instance, using a rope to secure Unger's head above water might have given them more time to rescue him. Unfortunately, in the panic of the moment, such options were not considered. If you made it through the first story, then gear up for the next one, as it is even more painful to watch. On June 14th, 2003, deep in the rugged wilderness of Colorado, On June 14th, 2003, deep in the rugged wilderness of Colorado, seasoned cavers Tom...
I'm so glad I kind of grew up more like in the city type shit, cause like, bro, this that fuck shit I don't even really gotta deal with, bro. I'm nice, just waking up, and I got a little store outside. I just go hang by the store, meet all my friends and all that shit. Just chill, come home, and my mom is there, and we do homework and all that shit. I'm so glad that I kind of grew up in that sort of peaceful fucking life, because this shit crazy, bro. You grew up, oh my god.
Dawson and Bob Sacco.
This is what excites people like that, bro.
Set out for an exhilarating day of exploration.
Pure goofy shit.
Their destination was the land of the Swirling Mists Cave, a newly discovered underground labyrinth that had captured the imagination of local adventurers. The two cavers, eager to uncover more hidden passages and chart new territory, were prepared for a day filled with challenge and discovery. The exploration of the newly discovered land of the Swirling Mists Cave had been exhilarating for Tom Dawson and his partner Bob Sacco. With the discovery of the main level, there was an air of excitement to uncover more of the cave's mysteries. They decided to tackle the south end of the lobby, a large room filled with breakdown piles. Dawson, always up for a challenge, took on the task of digging through the unstable rock, hoping to find a new passage. The air was thick with the damp smell of earth and the distant echoes of dripping water, making the cave feel alive around them. Lying on his side, Dawson began pulling rocks from the pile, inching his way closer to a possible new tunnel.
I don't get it. Low. Ain't the gravity going to pull that shit down? Anyway, because how is the hole just going like that? Ain't the gravity going to pull that bit down? Like, how, you know what I mean? Like, how is it just like a hole there in the shit on the top ain't come in yet? Type shit. How the fuck is that?
Oh, avoiding the larger rocks.
Hey, ain't the top going to just fall down?
Trusting his instincts to keep him safe. But then, without warning, a sickening scrape filled the air. Time seemed to slow as a massive slab of rock, about 10 inches thick and several feet wide, broke loose from the ceiling. Before Dawson could react, it dropped onto him with a crushing force. As Tom Dawson lay trapped under the massive slab of rock, his world shrank to the sound of cracking bones and waves of pain. The moment the boulder settled on him, he felt a sharp, sickening pop in his chest.
How I know that? Did y'all ask him what the fuck? He was screaming this. How the fuck y'all know that?
Sound of his ribs giving way. Each breath was a jagged gasp, the broken bones grinding together with every shallow inhale. It felt like knives stabbing into his lungs, each movement sending searing pain through his body. Before he could process the agony in his chest, a brutal, white-hot flash of pain shot through his left shoulder. He tried to move it. Nothing. The shoulder was completely dead, hanging limp and useless at his side. Tom realized with a jolt of horror that it had been dislocated, leaving him crippled and trapped. The full weight of the situation hit him as hard as the rock itself. Pinned to the cave floor, his right arm stuck awkwardly above his head. The dislocated shoulder felt like fire, every slight shift making it worse. His body screamed at him with pain from every angle.
Oh my god, look at how
broken ribs, a ruined shoulder, and the crushing pressure of the slab making it harder to breathe with each passing second. Tom could do nothing but grit his teeth, knowing that if he didn't find a way out soon, the cave might claim him entirely. Pinned to the cave floor, he was crying out of pain, his legs visible to Sacco, who frantically started digging.
Stay at home. Stay at home. Chill at home, bro. Just chill. There's nice AC ass shit. Just chill at home, bro. And if some of y'all are living in a project or hood, bro, just chill outside, bro.
Chill with your people with everything he had, trying to free his friend. But the situation grew more desperate by the minute. With each rock removed, the slab seemed to settle lower, intensifying the pressure on Dawson's body. The slab suddenly shifted. It first smacked his head, which he tried to hold above, and then its enormous weight pressed down on Dawson's helmet, pinning his head in place. His body could barely move, but now his head held the crushing
all them fucking bones and shit broken shit like that,
rock above him. His right arm, now freed, groped for any way to release the chin strap on his helmet. His fingers, numb from the strain, pinched the strap as hard as they could, desperate to break free. At last, with one sharp tug, the strap released. With a final, painful push, Dawson slid his body out from under the rock, just as it slammed into the space he had vacated. His entire body screamed in agony, his ribs burning from the impact, his shoulder hanging limp and dislocated, his head in throbbing pain. But there was no time to think. He had one thought and one thought only. Get out. Dawson bolted, leaving behind his helmet, his gear, and even the pain that shot through every step. He needed to get out of that cave. Sacco, running after him, shoved a light.
Oh, he survived. Oh, and that's why he could describe like the pain and feeling, because like he was alive. Oh.
And Dawson barely paused to take it. He was disoriented and lightheaded, probably concussed, but he didn't care. The only thing driving him forward was survival. He reached the narrow crawlway near the cave entrance, dropping to his hands and knees, his body barely cooperating. As he crawled through the tight space, his head spun, his vision blurred, and his heart raced. Halfway through, he realized the full weight of his injuries. His body was failing him. The pounding in his skull became overwhelming, and his limbs felt weak. He collapsed onto the ground, his world tilting with dizziness.
Died.
He managed to call for help, his voice weak and strained. His wife, Nancy, who had been near the entrance, heard his cry and rushed to his aid. Grabbing the collar of his cave suit, she dragged him with every ounce of strength she had, while he pushed feebly with his feet, using the cave walls for leverage. Each pull sent waves of pain crashing through his body, his broken ribs grinding against one another. With Nancy's help, he made it out of the crawlway and through the larger passage to the cave's entrance. By the time they reached the outside world, Dawson was on the edge of collapse. His wife sprinted down the hillside to get their phone and call for the center where the ambulance waited. Dawson's ordeal wasn't over yet. He was rushed to the hospital, where they discovered the full extent of his injuries: a concussion, several broken ribs, internal bleeding, a dislocated shoulder, and numerous other injuries. It was a day that nearly broke him, both physically and
So let me
mentally.
guess. At the hospital, he went back because he wanted to get excited and get horny and jerk off in the fucking caves.
But Dawson had made it out. Barely. Hold on if you've made it this far, because the last story is even more shocking.
Yeah,
The person trapped in the cave began experiencing